Okay, guys, so these next ones are going to just be some other editions of Rider-Waite that are just, the colors are different. They're pretty much the majority, I think, are, yeah, you can find them anywhere. So let's get into these. So first one is the Radiant Rider-Waite. I used to own another version of this, but I rehomed it. This is my copy that I actually did a deck mod to. So deck mod meaning I cut the border. So the cards originally look like this. They had the white border and it's the blue backs with the tiny little yellow stars, really cute. The Radiant Rider-Waite. So it used to be a regular tarot size deck. The boxes are different. I've seen them. They look different in the stores. So it just depends what edition you get. But I cut off the borders on mine. So that's why this one looks so teeny tiny. My edition of the Radiant Rider-Waite, this is the glossy one. The one I used to have was more of a matte. So you can get two different kinds. I actually prefer the glossy one. I don't normally like glossy decks, but I think the glossy deck for the Radiant Rider-Waite looks really pretty. Because you have these bright, radiant colors, right? And I just think that the gloss, the high gloss, kind of adds to the effect of that. So really, really pretty. And you have all these gorgeous, like, bright colors to the cards. So really beautiful. And you get like kind of like a starburst looking background in some of these colors. Like, it's just really pretty, really, really pretty. Very nicely done. But like I said, I'm normally not a fan of glossy cards, but it works for this deck. There's just something about it. It just really, I feel like it needs to be glossy. It just works. So the Radiant Rider-Waite is a really pretty edition. I always recommend it to people who are asking me, like, what edition of Rider-Waite should I get? I want something like really pretty and bright. This is a pretty good one. So you can find these everywhere. Barnes & Noble always has them. The Borderless Smith-Waite Tarot. So I don't have the Centennial Waite, which it's on my list to get. Looks kind of similar, but this is a borderless one. So it looks similar, like the backs are kind of like this, but you have more of a lighter green. But my edition, oh, and this is of course one I didn't put in order. So sorry guys. My edition, this one does not have borders. I really like it like this because one, I'm used to seeing Rider-Waite with borders, but two, you kind of get like, it kind of looks like a zoomed in look of the cards. The colors are very muted. They're very like soft. Okay. So if you're looking more for like a muted vintagey kind of a deck, you may really prefer something like this. The yellows are softer. It's kind of like more gray tones, to be honest. But I like it for the fact that it just looks zoomed in. Like when you still have the title cards, but when you look at the character, like she just looks zoomed in versus having the borders. Let me see if I could find the Fool so I could compare it for you. So here's the Fool and here's my original tarot. See the difference? It just looks zoomed in. So you can totally find this edition on Amazon. Just make sure it is the borderless edition because that's the one I have. That's this one. So if you want the borderless, if you want it to look zoomed in and whatnot, that is this deck. This one I found on eBay. One of my friends and followers introduced me to this one. I believe, I don't know now if it's different, but when I ordered it, you have to order it overseas. Like it has to be outside of the US. So this is an AGM Tarot of AE Waite. Okay. So I bought mine on eBay and then it was shipped overseas. So it took a while to get here. And then the one I bought was with the rose I call it the death rose. It's the rose flower that is on the death card. But it also has a cross. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, a weird back, but it's that one, or you can get the crackle backs. And I wasn't into the crackle back. I was like, oh, I want something different. So I got this one. I really, really like this edition because I kind of like the font. So typically in Rider-Waite decks, when you're getting more of the vintagey ones or the typical Rider-Waite, you have Pamela's handwriting, okay? And then when you get these like clone decks, they usually will change the text. So this one obviously is not Pamela's handwriting. It's more of a text, but I love the daintiness of it. It just has a different feel. It looks neat. The colors are muted. It's clean. When I say clean, the artwork, the line work is very clean in the deck. And I don't know, I really like the way the text looks. I think that the text just looks neat. That's the best way I can explain it. So I don't know if you can get this one in the States. You maybe it was just something I thought you could only get it outside of the country, but I found mine on eBay. So if you're looking for it, type in on eBay Tarot of A.E. Waite, Arthur Edward Waite, right? And it'll pop up. And then I believe, at least the person I bought it from, you can choose different backs. And I think they had pocket size, which is the minis, or the standard. I got standard because I'm not a mini person. Like, I don't like to, I don't really like the mini decks unless I'm working with my Radiant, which is the one I just showed you guys, where I cut the borders off so the cards are obviously smaller. I like a full-size deck. So, you know, it is what it is. But that is the Tarot of A.E. Waite. So really pretty deck. Just took a while to get to me. I would say it took a couple weeks. This one was a purchase that I got from a crystal shop near where I live. And this is the Tarot Rider. It is in Spanish. Okay, so I've seen these pop up on Amazon and all that. It's the Spanish version. I don't know if mine was just a print error or if they're all like this, but it has the plaid backs. The box is just funky and different. It has the the Knight of Cups. So the Spanish edition, you usually will see the Knight of Cups on it. But every card has this weird black blotch. Now, I think what happened was when they were, whoever rescanned it and stuff, there was the, they blocked out the copyright, because this is normally where the copyright would be. But it comes out as this nasty black blotch. So I don't know if this was a print error or what was going on, but it's an ugly edition. So I don't know if they're all like this. So beware. Make sure you look at pictures before you buy it, because I'm telling you, this is just awful. Like, I can't deal. So also, I will say this is a very yucky kind of an edition of the colors. This is one of those where it's like, just the colors just don't look pretty. Kind of too bright. It looks like the filter is more bright. I don't know how else to explain it, but not the best version of Rider-Waite in my opinion. I think it could have been prettier. But those black little blotches just did it for me. So I do not use this deck very much. It's just not my favorite. So it could have been better. We'll just put it that way. It could have been a lot better. The other one is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. This one you can find everywhere. It's beautiful, and it reminds me a lot of the Radiant Rider-Waite. This one came out a couple years ago, and the card backs kind of are those lilies, just like the original, but these are in color, right? Glossy, very, very glossy deck. So if you're not into the glossy cardstock, you're not going to like this. But like I said, just like with the Radiant Rider-Waite that I showed you, the gloss really helps the colors come out. So I feel like even though I don't like glossy decks, there's a need for it in certain aspects, and this is one of those. So beautiful colors. I love it. They're just, I feel like it's just done right. You don't have Pamela's text at the bottom. It's definitely a different type. But the colors are really pretty, and I used this deck a lot last year in my readings. So if you guys looked at the older videos of me doing readings, well, most of them are unlisted now, but this was one of those decks that I was using all the time. Look at how gorgeous that Hermit looks. So really, really pretty. Look at the Death card on here. Oh, and then the Temperance. Look at the sky. So as you can see, it's like just really well done. The line work, it's just pretty, but definitely not everyone's cup of tea. I know there was a lot of people that were just not into the whole glossiness and all of that. Like there's some pretty additions too, but I like it. It works for me. It's also borderless, by the way. So you get that zoomed in look of the cards. I don't know. I don't like, I don't mind borders. They don't bother me, but sometimes like they're really pretty when you don't have them. So I like this deck. Enough said. I think a lot of you guys will like it too. So, and it's big, like it's a thick deck. Okay. The cardstock is kind of thick. It's pretty thick. So it is a chunky one. It's a handful, that's for sure. But I like it. So this is the Radiant Wise, oh my goodness, Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. You could find it on Barnes & Noble. You can find it on Amazon. I bought mine at Barnes & Noble. And yeah, so there's that. Okay, you guys. So let's scoot on over to the next segment. Okay, guys. So these next ones are all of my Amazon, even though some of the other ones I just showed you guys are Amazon-y too. These are Amazon purchases. So if you're obsessed with Amazon like I am, you'll find these decks there. Okay, this one is called the White Tarot. It's weird. It's weird. And I feel like the best part about it is the box. Now, I have seen some other editions pop up of this one where the colors are different. So, but the cards themselves are pretty much the same. It's a funky little deck. Okay. But I feel like the cards, oh my God, the box is the best part, to be honest, because the cards themselves are not really my favorite. The backs are beautiful. So you have that beautiful like metallic-y blue with this is like a hot pink. It probably looks more orange on the video, at least from when I'm looking at it, it does. Probably because of my shirt, but it's a hot pink. So the backs are beautiful, but then you go to the artwork and it's just not up to par. This is one of those decks where it could have been a lot better. It's called the White Tarot. The characters have white hair. Okay. The faces, the skin tones, it's very white, but the hair is what it is. So it's a little weird. It's weird. There are borders that it's kind of, I don't know. I don't feel the artwork too much. But it is what it is. Look at the oh my God, and like looks like Santa Claus. Like that is so funny to me. So yeah, just white hair. It's the White Tarot. So you guys make it what it is. Not my favorite. It is a funky deck. It's weird. It's just different, but this is not a deck that I crave pulling out to work with. It just doesn't call to me. And I think it's because the artwork isn't my favorite. So yeah. Sometimes you just get that feeling of like they're in the clouds. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. I love the card backs though. Like, I think that's the card backs and the box are my favorite things about this deck, but I think it could have been so much better. It was just kind of a wah-wah for me, okay? This is the Magic Seer borderless deck. This was, you'll see it on Amazon with the Hermit on the cover. This one, I really was pleasantly surprised. I actually really like this one. So you have, oops, title cards. You have beautiful backs that match the box. Kind of like a teal color with some golds. Borders are no borders here. The colors, very, very bright, kind of typical to your yellow box Rider-Waite. But it kind of looks nice. The line work is nice, but you don't get the, you don't get much out of the details of the faces. I will say that. So it is pretty, but not clear enough with the faces, if you know what I mean. Okay. I don't like the Emperor kind of lost his redness. I'm just not feeling that. Not really into the gray in the back like this. You get some cards that are beautiful and some of them are kind of like, I'm not really feeling that. There's a lot of darker greens. The yellow is just yellow. The Hermit could have been so much better. Like, he looks so nice on the box. But then when you look at him with the background, he blends in too much, in my opinion. So not my favorite version of the Hermit. Yeah, some cards are just not, you have a lot of gray in the background. I don't think it was the best choice of colors, but it is also pretty. The card stock is really pretty. It feels like butter. The card stock is kind of thick enough. It's not super thin. So it is a big deck. But yeah, the colors, I don't know. Not the best. So it has its charm, but it's, if I were to pick, a color edition of a Rider-Waite clone, this would not be it. I'll just be honest. But, it was a cheap deck. It was, I think it only cost like 15 bucks. It wasn't really that expensive. So that's the Magic Seer. These decks are ones that pop up. I also have another one, but I can't, where did I put it? He's somewhere. I did videos on these guys. These are the Debray decks that you can find on Amazon. So this is the Lustrous Tarot. I have videos where I show them up close. They're really pretty, really nice. Nicely done. More kind of like more digital art here. I like it though. A little funky. So if you want to see these cards more up close and personal, look at the videos. They're not that far down my deck reveals. This is the Spanish version of this one's called the Original Tarot, the Tarot Original 78 cards. This is the Spanish one. I don't know where my English one is. I really, really like this one though. It has linen finish cardstock and the colors are really clean and clear. The line work is very clear. Much better than the Magic Seer that I just showed you guys. Look at, you get the red, the oranges of the Emperor. It's really nicely done. So again, if you want a closer eye look at this, check out my deck reveal videos. I go in more in depth, but I definitely would say this is a beautiful version of Rider-Waite. You get like kind of darker golden yellows. So okay, and I have two more for this. This one was the Smith Tarot deck. I think I ended up getting one of those like decks that are, I don't know, unless I wasn't reading the thing right, but this came out teeny tiny and I was not expecting this. So this is what the Centennial weight would look like, but I think I got like a cheapy knockoff, to be honest. So, because the Centennial weight looks like this, the backs, but this is like really tiny. It's literally like a little mini deck. I don't like mini decks. I'm just not into them. So I didn't even bother to put this one in order. I was kind of disappointed. The colors though are very muted and like kind of similar to the original Rider-Waite, the blue lily backs. But if I wanted to just work with something like that, I would just use my original. I wouldn't even bother with something like this. So I think I was just kind of disappointed in the fact that I didn't get quite what I thought I was getting. I think I thought I was ordering the Centennial and I don't know what happened. So when you are ordering from Amazon, you have to read the item descriptions because sometimes you will be surprised. And then this was a random order. This is the tarot deck, the original artwork by Pamela Coleman Smith. It has the little the infinity symbol on the cover, and it's a big yellow box. I like this one. I think this one's funky. So the backs are beautiful, kind of similar to the Magic Seer backs. I don't know if it's like the same company or what, but these are like funky Amazon decks, okay? And you have like these like muted, but they're kind of speckled. Like I don't know how to explain it, you guys. The faces look speckled, and I don't know if it's going to focus for you guys. Probably not. But yeah, not the best. I think I would still go for my original Rider-Waite. But that's just me. Look at how dark the Hermit looks. So the Hermit is one of those cards that he comes out looking different everywhere. And I don't know. So you kind of get like, you get like that vintage coloring on these cards, but they look dark. So not really the best. But I actually like it. Like it's charming to me, I guess is the best way I could explain it. So that is the tarot deck. Okay, you guys. So those are all of the Amazon deckies that I buy. I'm like one of those people where I just buy random ass Amazon decks. I'm just weird. So that is that. Okay, on to the next segment.